Got a lot of love, but I ain't got a lot of time. Well, good people, this is a quick video from a CPA who broke down the 9 most useful or quote unquote the 9 most common bills attached with the big beautiful tax bill. Let's get into it and see what he got going on. He seems very informative, but let's see.
So, JJ, the CPA here, hope you're doing well. Here's the big one, at least for small business owners, is that the QBI deduction remains at 20% and
So QBI, if you all don't know, stands for qualified business income.
in effect after this year. You may not be aware of this, but this is a beautiful, out of thin air tax deduction, meaning the net income of your business times 20% is a deduction at a thin air, and it continues. With that being said, of course, there's always exceptions to that and phase outs. Also, no tax on tips, but where this is landing is that it'll be up to $25,000 of tips. And they did define which industries will be able to benefit from this. And of course, there are phase out. No tax on overtime up to $12,500. The same. Any tax law is going to have exceptions and phase outs. Additional senior deduction. I'm about getting there myself, but an additional $6,000 deduction for seniors. Car loan interest. What? Now, this is going to be a deduction. It'll be up to $10,000 and it'll be on American vehicles. The SALT. What is SALT?
One second. So no tax on tips up to 25,000. That's actually, in my opinion, a good number. Probably a little bit skewed because they be making way more than 10,000. Than freaking 25,000. But I feel like that's still a positive because you still get a win-win. Because even if you made 50 or 60 on tips, at least you get to cut that in freaking half and run that freaking back up. I think that's good, especially for the young folk and the people that are just into the restaurant industry. No overtime on tax is big. No taxes on overtime is major. I don't think people understand the magnitude of how much we actually pay. I can reflect on back in the day when I used to work an hourly job, man. We used to put 70, 80 hours in and would get just screwed, demolished on taxes. So I think both of those are positive. The QBI, most people don't really have to deal with that unless you have the business or a small business. But looking out for the seniors, I think that's also great. Now, depending on who you ask, I think is great. But the biggest question that I have here is the car loan interest deduction for $10,000. He said it has to be American owned, but they also removed the Tesla. So it's like if you remove the $7,500 tax credit, but you allow a $10,000 deduction on interest for brand new vehicles bought in America, coming from somebody who's owned 36 cars in 33 years, I'm 110% positive that the car creators or the dealerships will just up the price to 10,000. Right now, the average car is $48,000, which is astronomically insane. So it's just going to be a same inflation or influxation of price value or price gauging that goes right back up like it did during freaking COVID. Like, I don't know. Why even remove the EV tax credit if you're going to give this away? Or if you don't have the EV tax credit, do you still get the same thing? I don't know. We'll come back and I'll do a little bit more research and make a different video, but that's a little bit interesting to me. Let's just go back and see what my man had to say.
And it'll be on American vehicles. The SALT. What is SALT? State and local taxes. What's that? Real estate taxes, state taxes, income taxes at the state level. It's been limited to 10,000. They've landed at 40,000. Now, for states that have the pass-through entity tax play, if you will, well, the House said nope, but the Senate said yes. And what's going into play is yes, it will be allowed. That workaround. 100% bonus depreciation. Check this one out now. It's back to January 19th of 25. 100% bonus depreciation means that for the qualifying assets in your business, bam, 100% deductible if it makes sense for you. Also in depreciation world, Section 179, that depreciation is allowed 100%. Now, it does get limited to your income. There's some exceptions to all that. You know that, right? But anyways, up to $2,500,000. The green clean vehicle tax credit.
Here we
Don't know
go.
that you're going to see this as a positive, but it expires on 10/1 of 25, meaning
So all you that hate Elon, how would you feel if you just endorsed somebody $250 million? 99% of Americans will never make that much money in their lifetime. But he just gave Trump $250 million of an endorsement for Trump to remove the EV tax credit. And as you can see, as of Trump being the president for 6 months, as of July the 5th, now Elon has up until October the 1st, and this EV tax credit is just abolished. I'm pretty sure most people buy the Tesla solely because they get the $7,500 off on their taxes. Or you get the $4,000 off of a used car. So at this current moment, and anything under $25,000, $24,999, that's a used electric car, specifically Tesla, you get $4,000 off of the price. So if it was $25,000 and you got the $4,000 EV used tax credit off, your car is now $21,000. So that's an easy, free $4,000 freaking down payment. However, the big beautiful bill just completely destroyed it as of October the 1st. So the real question is this the best time to buy a Tesla?
From 10/1/25 and after, if you purchase it, well, from that date and after, you're not going to be able to get that credit. That's that $7,500 credit. No changes, little changes, tax rate, standard deductible, dependent credit, the earned income tax credit, the estate and gift exemption, the mortgage interest is going to be limited still to the $750,000. And when we're talking about the child credit, slight increase for that as well. So as promised, in the body of this video, you'll find a link to a summary going through this. Check out other videos related.
I like to give credit to the content creators, so down below in the description, I will also put a link in there so y'all can rewatch this video. You could also listen to the rest of what he's saying. But man, I appreciate y'all tapping in. Let me know what y'all think, especially with the EV use tax credit. I'll make another video to elaborate on that, but I got to do a little bit more homework. I think that's pretty messed up, honestly, to give $250 million and then you don't get nothing in return, because Elon was already rich before all of this. But that's not here nor there. As usual, man, be you, be true. Let the universe do the rest. I appreciate y'all, man. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.